Seeing this restream. Come on now.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll catch up.
It says we're live, and I see us on Twitch, but I don't see us on restream at all.
That's weird.
Try refresh. You can even see us on YouTube, which is what makes it really confusing. Restream's normally first.
Yeah. I don't know, I got the notification for you two.
Hello, Will. And chat's here too, so I guess Restream just lagging behind. They can see us, so I guess that's what matters. All these fun.
Right on. Oh my gosh.
Re-exit? I don't know what to call it now.
Hey, Remus. Glad you're here.
Hello, Remus. So, I thought it might be fun, and also I didn't have a good pre-show topic this week. Thought it might be fun to revisit an old one.
Okay.
And I think it's time we play Tomino or Quaker.
Okay.
So,
right.
I got a round 2 of it for you. For anybody who doesn't know, that's here for the pre-show. This is a special thing that only you Twitch people get. The YouTube side, you don't get to see this part, so I don't even know why I'm talking to you. You can't hear me. But I give Rundgren a name, and he has to tell me if it's a Quaker name or if it's a Tomino name. Your first name is Amity Hoyle.
Amity Hoyle? Let's go Tomino first off.
Okay, that one is a Quaker name.
Okay.
Your next name is Original Bradshaw.
That's got to be Tomino.
That is a Quaker name.
Original is?
Yeah.
Okay. Now there's some common words that they use as names, but I didn't think original was one of them.
I didn't either. It really surprised me when I saw it. Your next one is Bork Cry.
Bork?
Yep.
B-O-R-K?
Yep.
Bork. Well, it's Dutch Amish. Amish.
Oh, it's a Tomino name.
I almost went with that one too. Yeah.
Your next one is Fly Debate Teat. It's hyphenated. Fly -debate Teat.
I don't know how the Quakers feel about teats, so I'm going with Tomino.
No, that's a Quaker name.
Okay.
What I'm learning from this is that I know where Tomino found his names.
Right.
Your next name. Oh, go ahead.
Then all of a sudden I want oatmeal.
Right. Your next name is Meme Midgard.
Oh, come on. It's got to be Tomino.
It is. That's a Tomino name. You got it. This next one is Kismunt.
Disappointed!
Kismunt.
Kismunt.
I feel that one's Tomino too.
That's also a Tomino name. You got it. Yeah. Oh man, there's so many good ones. All right. Elbow Smash.
That's got to be Tomino.
That's also a Tomino name. You're on a roll here.
Yeah.
How about Giant Taurid?
Giant Talred.
Yep.
T-A-L-R-E-D.
T-A-W-R-A-D. Taurid.
Oh. Okay. Quaker.
That's a Tomino name.
Okay.
2 more for you.
All right. Try this one.
Recompense Young.
That's Quaker.
That is Quaker. You got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And your last one is Wrestling Higginston.
That's Tomino.
That's Quaker. But it's very clear. Look, for a long time, I thought Tomino was unique in his names. Clearly, I'm wrong.
Look, I'm not sure that Tomino's been unique since the first Gundam that I've seen. So I don't know about unique.
Very
but-
true. I think my favorite part about it is that I saw some that are both. There's a character in Gundam Pixie, I believe, called Desire Downing. And that's
Okay.
just a Quaker name, Desire Downing.
Downing, yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I thought desire was against the religion. I don't know.
All right, but that's your catch up, your round 2 for Tomino versus Quaker.
Did not do very well.
I don't expect anybody to do really well though on that because it's not fair. It's
Well, if you've seen the shows, you should know, right? Seen the show.
theoretically, but
If you're a deep fan, you know, the manga, the OVAs, ONAs, ORAs, OILs, whatever those are, that comes with, it depends on what it's called with which Gundam.
yeah, if you've read every manga,
Yeah, and all that, you probably be better at it.
played all the side story games, I was
Or if
finding
you-
names I didn't know.
Okay.
Like Elbow Smash is a real name that was going to be used in Double Zeta. Guess who was going to be Elbow Smash?
I had no idea.
Mondo. Mondo was going to be named Elbow Smash. It would have made him better in my mind.
Well, Elbow Smash sounds like it should be in G Gundam.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
That's his name.
All right. Well, you ready to get into the actual show then?
Yes.
Okay. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
And Remus is going to name his child Headbutt Concussion, which is a
Nice.
pretty good name, you know.
Yeah, heck yeah. He's gonna play in the NFL.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Like, it's a full week. But I'm excited. I think it's going to be a good one. But we start this off every time with a pop quiz. We have a pop quiz tonight?
Yeah, you got a pop quiz
All right.
for you. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is names the same. Okay.
Okay.
So what it is, I'm gonna give you a hint, and it's gonna be about two different people, really. That kind of have the same name. For well, maybe more. For example, the first question, your number one question, is five surnames. The last name, or comes first in other countries. I don't know. The family name has been shared. Five of them have been shared by U.S. presidents.
Oh.
How many can you?
Well, I mean, you know. 5 U.S. presidents had the same surname.
Targeting and advertising works.
And, okay. I'm trying to. Is it. No, I can only think of 2. It was 5 of them?
Yeah. That had. Yeah. Well, there's 5 surnames that more than one U.S. president has had. You know. We've had a couple we've had one in the past. What? 40 years.
Yeah.
So that's a give me there. So I'll give you that one. Bush.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's
Okay.
4 of them.
Okay, so it's not 5 that all had the same surname. It's 5 that shared surnames. Okay. I feel way better now. I was very confused.
Okay.
Okay, so Roosevelt,
Yeah.
Teddy,
one.
and Franklin. Then, of course, Bush, as we said.
Question is, 5 surnames have been shared by U.S. presidents. How many can you name?
Adams.
That's a good one. Got that one. That's 3. You picked the most popular 3 off the list. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kennedy, no. Bush, yes.
Oh, I'm really struggling now. I'm trying to think of every president name I know, and not Ford, not Jackson. Not Lincoln. Jefferson?
There were 2 Kennedys, but not as presidents. And there's actually 3 if you want to talk about like political aspirations.
Yeah.
John, Robert, and Ted. Yeah.
It's not Jefferson, is it? Because my brain went Jeff Davis as well, and that's not. That's his
No.
first name.
Yeah. No, you got what do you say? Adams, Bush, and Roosevelt.
Yeah.
There's 2 others. Oh, good call, Faith. Very good.
Not looking at the chat. Not looking. Okay, there was Andrew Jackson, and there was also Jackson's not it, but there was one.
Oh no.
I don't know. I may have to throw in the towel here. I'm drawing a full blank because Coolidge is not it either. That's the name that keeps popping up in my mind, but it's not Coolidge.
Or Fillmore.
Not Ford.
No.
Johnson? Was there an Andrew Johnson?
There's a Johnson. So you got 4.
Okay. Washington.
No, the last one's Harris.
Of course. Of course.
Disappointed!
Yes. So not bad. It took you a while to get there, but you got 4 out of the 5.
Ooh. I'll take
Now
that.
here
I got disappointed for that one. I'll take that.
All right. This one I don't expect you to get. It's just a weird little baseball fact, okay?
Okay.
So in 1962, Mets fans saw the worst baseball team in history. Their record ended up being 40 and 120 losses, 40 wins, 101 losses.
Wow.
But they also saw double with Bob Miller. How is that?
Bob Miller. There's no way they had 2 people named Bob Miller on their team.
There were 2 Bob Millers on the team. Both were pitchers.
Wow. All right then.
Fair enough, Dark.
Very specific name too. Like
Yeah. If you had said there was 2 people with the same name, I'm going to kind of tentatively give you that one, even though you said it in disbelief. But
yeah, I'll take it. Also, I'm sure you do have lag on YouTube side.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Thanks for the wow. Appreciate it.
So this name, he was a Seinfeld star, and his same name counterpart was the former husband of Britney Spears.
Seinfeld star and his same name counterpart was married to Britney Spears.
Yeah, the former husband of Britney Spears.
Okay.
I'm going to have a whole team of Bob Millers.
The worst part is I don't know who was married to Britney Spears. My brain says Justin Timberlake, but there's no way there's somebody else named Timberlake that was on Seinfeld.
Okay.
This is one I should probably mention. I didn't watch Seinfeld. It's a grave sin, I know, but
Whatever excuse you need, Trey.
Gary Busey.
Okay. It's Jason Alexander.
Oh, okay. The voice actor for the Gargoyles and Hunchback of Notre Dame?
No, the guy from Seinfeld. The little bald guy.
He also was the voice actor for Hugo in Hunchback of Notre Dame.
That wasn't in the question.
Hugo is always relevant.
So, he...
Bob Miller, best production time.
Yes. It had its moments, but yeah, overall it was kind of about nothing, which was kind of the point of it. So this was a Hall of Fame baseball player and a down and out homeless broadcaster that was given a second chance in 2011. It was actually pretty big news. The man with the golden voice. I'm going to give you a big hint.
That really should help me, but it's not. And he also played the same name, played baseball. Was a home run hitter.
Yeah, he was a great player. He was a legendary player in baseball. And it's older. He's an older player.
Oh, I feel like I know this name and I don't, and that's what's really bugging me because I've heard it before.
Yeah. I would think so.
My brain keeps saying Kenny Rogers, and that's not it.
Okay.
I don't even know who that is. I'm going
Right,
with Kenny Rogers.
No, it's Ted Williams.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we had in 2011 had the homeless man with the golden voice. He had a real bad addict problem. They got him another broadcast position, got a second chance, and he blew it.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, who's Kenny Rogers?
I know somebody who's coming after you for that.
That's fair.
I won't call them out, but you know who it is.
Look, I gotta look this up. I'm
Gambler. Kenny Rogers.
I think. Oh, of course. Yeah, I'm such an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to see the face to connect the name.
All right, we got another name the same.
No, I deserve to get got. I didn't know it by name. I'm sorry. I know I haven't finished Wish for Mercury. I have all the episodes now. I was gonna watch one today, but I got caught up recording.
Okay. So, same name. It's the largest city in Maine and in Oregon.
So it's on the main and on the plane. Is what you're saying.
If you're trying to make a My Fair Lady joke, that was pretty weak, but
I've been to Maine.
That's not the largest city.
I've been to Maine. I don't know any names of cities in Maine.
Fair enough.
This is not correct, but I'm gonna say Providence. Portland. That makes sense.
Yeah. Portland's the biggest one there. Okay. Another sports ball one. These I know you're hip on all the sports talk.
Of course,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, right. So Major League Baseball and the National Football League have two teams that share the same nickname. What are they?
They're the same nickname?
Mm-hmm. Same team name.
Come on, Trey. Football and baseball. Is it the Detroit Lions?
Do you think there's a Major League Baseball team called the Lions?
I don't know. I don't know how baseball teams are named. I know there's the Mets and the Jets, right? So I guess they're not animals.
Yeah.
I know. Come on, Trey. I know. I'm sorry. I don't know sports. I'm gonna say it's the Toronto Raptors.
After all that, you go with the Canadian team
That's,
in the NBA, in the National Basketball Association.
I don't know. I've heard these names over the years.
It's Cardinals and Giants.
Okay.
New York Giants, San Francisco Giants, the Arizona Cardinals. Anyway,
So
St.
they
Louis
do
Cardinals.
have animals.
Yes, they have animals. Do
The
that.
Lions. It still would have been wrong, but I wouldn't look so.
All right. Ooh. This is going rough, Trey.
Yep.
It's all right. It's all right.
Toronto
So-
is the Blue Jays. Well, that's good to know.
In baseball, yes. Yes, they're the Blue Jays in baseball. And they're the Maple Leafs in hockey if we want to go through it all. All of a sudden, this podcast is named Canadian. I don't know. I sound American. Gosh darn it.
I like how you say both groups like they're K-pop groups.
Right.
Just get ready for the Toronto hockey team to drop a new single.
That's impossible. Will, you can't be Canadian. Goodness gracious.
Watch out, bearded man.
all right.
Watch out,
Okay.
bearded man, he says.
I believe him, man. I believe him. I get worried sometimes. Going through that. I don't know what connection you may have. Ugh. All right, I'll be good. Will, I'm sorry. So, this U.S. president, a third baseman for the Washington Senators, have the same name, and both occupied their position at the same time, meaning he was president while this guy was third baseman for the Washington Senators.
Gerald R. Ford.
No, not a bad guess though. It was John Kennedy.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, so it was. We got a Kennedy answer earlier. If they just move it up, we'll count it for
yeah,
it. So.
yeah.
Okay. So this name, it is a big name way up north, but it's also a small town in Indiana. Man, did Toronto? No. Are you a Vince Carter fan?
So it's
Goodness.
a big name up north, and it's also a small town in Indiana.
Yeah.
They're way up north.
Yeah. Yeah, beyond Toronto even.
I'm gonna say the North Pole.
Okay, well, close. It's Santa Claus.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Santa Claus, Indiana.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you name a town the North Pole? That.
I'm sure there is.
Call it Santa Claus instead.
I'm sure there is one. The North Pole. They got a lot of strange names, borrowed names for American cities.
Yep.
Went through that.
Paris, Texas is my favorite.
So this one's more of a call out just to make me feel better. But I want to see if you get it.
Okay.
I hope you will. It would be awesome if you did. So he was a comedic actor on the sitcom Good Times and a mayor of New York City. Obviously the same guy, but they have the same name.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Wasn't he mayor of New York City for a little while?
And you think he was on? Good job, Faith. Thank you, Faith.
I've never seen that show. I'm sorry. I've never heard of that show.
I want you after this. I need you to go check out Good Times, and you tell me that look. It would be funny.
Yeah.
It would have been funny. Stone Cold Steve Austin. No, it's Jimmy Walker.
Okay.
Have you heard the phrase dynamite?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Jimmy Walker.
Okay.
From Good.
But
All
it
right.
doesn't come from Toy Story 1.
No. Okay. So the name I'm looking for here, he was a shoeless baseball player.
Disappointed!
And the person that has the same name as him is the father of LaToya.
See, my plan when I don't know the answer is just to give an answer that I think chat might enjoy or that will cause you the most pain. I don't have a good one here. And so I'm going to say one that is obviously not it. And nobody's going to find it funny, but Kaiser Sose.
All right, it was Joe Jackson.
Okay.
Shoeless Joe Jackson, and Joe Jackson, the father of LaToya Jackson.
Okay.
Joe Jackson, Shoeless Joe Jackson is, if you don't like baseball player, he's worth checking out. Like he had a guy, like at one game, I'm going to tell you this, all right? And we'll try to do better next week on the pop quiz. I'll go back to animals or something. But,
I'm sorry, I don't know sports.
yeah. So a guy is a batter, really good at batting, really good at hitting. Hard to get a pitch past him, which hitting a fastball pitch is extremely hard. Yeah. But he was talking, about he was just going to, he wasn't worried about it. He was going to get a hit off Shoeless Joe Jackson. So when he came up to bat, Shoeless Joe Jackson made all his infielders and outfielders go sit down. And it was just him on the mound with the batter and the catcher.
Okay.
a single turns into a home run at that point,
Yeah, right.
right? On that, the man was tough. Is all I'm saying. He was built different. Something
cool.
Jackson. I'll do that.
I
Okay.
want to defend my Kenny Rogers moment earlier by saying I was thinking about baseball players. Isn't there a Rogers that's a baseball player that's a big name?
There's Aaron Rodgers. He's a quarterback for the Green Bay, or he was a quarterback for the Green Bay Packers.
The
They
wrong
got him.
sport, Trey.
I'm sure. Yeah, there's some Rodgers in baseball.
Kenny Rogers is a great singer. Yes, I agree. But
I believe that you know that.
I do know that. But I was thinking baseball. Look, my biggest problem with sports is not the sports themselves. It's that all I know about it is from anime.
Yeah.
And so they could tell me about some famous baseball player, but I don't know if they're telling me the truth.
Yep. Welcome to the internet.
Yep.
Exactly the way it works.
Yep.
Through that. No, but not bad. I didn't expect you to do very good on that one. Honestly, that was kind of tricky.
Thanks for your faith in me, Chief.
Right on that. 'Cause some of those are kind of tricky.
Yeah.
Chat did pretty well. Chat did pretty well though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt good for just how close I got with the president answers. That after that one, I was like, okay, look, the rest of this is probably going to suck for me, but
You did all right.
hold strong there. I remembered Calvin Coolidge, and everybody forgets Calvin Coolidge, so it wasn't relevant, but everybody forgets him.
Yeah. Do they?
I think so. I mean, if you ask people on the street how many presidents they can name like 2. So
I'd be surprised if people can answer that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
Not bad. A little bit of weird history lesson. I know quite a one there, but
Well, speaking of history,
yes,
we're pulling back time-wise a little bit, and we're talking about Gundam 08 the MS team,
yeah,
and we're back in the 1-year war.
yeah. It's kind of weak.
Yeah. And
It's kinda weak.
I feel bad because people always say, "Oh, 8th MS team is the best Gundam around. It's such a good short story of Gundam." It's like, no,
Yeah.
it's
Find so much
right.
the original Gundam,
Mm-hmm.
the 1 year, the Universal Century 1-year war, whatever.
Yeah. It could be a great story about a group of people in a small-scale conflict in the 1-year war, but it tries to be both that and a romance at the same time, and it doesn't give an adequate time to either.
It's very. The team's okay. Some of the characters are good in it.
I like Sanders.
Yeah, Sanders is a good character, which you could have done so much more with him, so much more with Karen, so much more, with a lot of the characters, even on the Xeon side, like a few episodes arc of like setting this one person out would have made that into a pretty good, series, but it's really kind of weak. And it doesn't. Yeah, Shiro's not that good of a character. And it like I said, it kind of just it takes away. Like in the first one, Amuro's special, right?
Yeah.
He's a very special pilot. And like nobody was even thought about beating the Red Comet, Char, and until Amuro. And it just kind of just craps all over that.
Yeah.
No. There were other Gundams.
Yeah.
There were other Gundam teams. In fact, there were quite a few Gundam teams.
My biggest annoyance would be gone if they just had GMs instead,
It is. It's not a good, and it starts okay.
Yes, Norris is cool for sure.
Yeah, Norris is a pretty cool character. And like they have those moments in there, but there's no payoff.
Yeah.
For them at all. Like there could be the romance between a Fetty officer and a Xeon officer could have been interesting.
Oh yeah.
Instead, it's just kind of lame.
Yeah. Well, they have the one scene in space, and then the next time they meet, he tells her he loves her. Like they have nothing else in between. It's just
yeah.
Also, I believe with everything in me when people talk about how they love 8th MS team, Norris Packard is doing all of the heavy lifting for that. People remember how good that scene is, and they're like, "Yeah, the series is great."
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed that you got the guerrilla group.
Mm-hmm.
We talked the other day about this is not long after, historically speaking, after Iran Contra, where guerrilla became a commonplace term.
Yeah.
Guerrilla fighters.
Yeah.
I mean, yay. On through that. But we've got 2 more episodes.
2 more episodes. It's the ending
of it. And it's not a strong Gundam story.
Yeah.
Like the Igloo Tank Man story, so much better, right? So much shorter, gets across so much more, done so much better.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know, man. It's like they were scared to write it.
No, there's no point in watching the OVA or the movie, because the OVA is the movie is a recap of the first 6 episodes, and the OVA is a recap of the last 4 episodes, and there's no point in watching those if you watch the show. That's, again, you said it earlier, there is the opportunity to have a full story here on both sides. You take Top Zaku Squad, you take the DOP Squad that fight Shiro, and you take them as the enemy team and put Aina in there with them and still have your romance. You can do that.
Yeah.
And have them against Shiro's team. But by splitting it up and going, no, none of those characters are going to get any depth. And we're just going to focus on Aina and Shiro in love.
But the way they set up 0079, the original OG Gundam, right? You have shown me all the power players.
Yeah.
On both sides. And now you're adding more.
Yeah.
What's her name's older brother?
Guineas, yeah.
Guineas and Ferb. He just there's no point. No point in him.
Well, and nobody ever brings him up anywhere else. And they would if he actually existed during the 1-year war, He's this super clever genius making military weapons that are way better than everything else they got. Like,
well, it's the whole thing. They show this machine they're building, this suit, and it's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It takes, basically, it doesn't lose. The machine doesn't lose. The lady pilot it, she stopped.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it kind of just undermines the whole Psycho Gundam thing from earlier and a lot of other things. It's like if they had this technology and they were working on this, the suits we would have seen would have been a lot different.
Yeah. Well, if you want to tell me that Zeon was trying to make more new weapons, I'd be like, sure, absolutely they were. They, the Big Sam was right there. They were trying to make that. The Zaccarella was right there. They were trying to make that a thing. But the Absolus is so much better than those that there's no way that Giran or Cassilia wouldn't be trying to get Guineas off Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just it's not good.
Right.
Wait a second.
You telling me, chat, that Makuve has the Adzam. He's got the Adzam, which is a pole, 4 poles, and an electric net and a little dop in the middle. And that's the super weapon he's got to defend the most important mining base that all of Zeon's got, while 200 miles over, they've got the Absolus. It doesn't work. You can't convince me this is happening at the same time.
Yeah. I really think they a lot of times they want to tell a story that's way too big for the time and resources they have to tell. And so it comes up being shallow.
Yeah.
You don't get the points of it. You're supposed to add your own emotion to it through that. But yeah, I don't know. I was glad to be getting back to Gundam, so to speak.
Yeah.
Or in my mind, what is Gundam from the original one?
Yeah.
The idea of what it is, I don't know. It's kind of it's a weak show in my mind.
Well, then after this, we get a Tomino work, Gundam X. Only 39 episodes, so we'll burn through that pretty quick. But there's no dub, so we'll have to watch that one subbed. And it's got some weird Tomino-isms in it, but I like a couple of the characters pretty well. So there's that.
Right.
I still think if this had just been the story of Sanders and the team, like if this whole chunk on the Federation side had been about Sanders, and every team he's a part of dies, and he's the commander. Like there could be some really good conflict there, especially with Karen being like, "Hey, you don't get to tell us when we die," you know.
Right.
But
yeah, Karen's a wasted character, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a strong character that you could do something with. Both those characters right there, those two. I think a lot could be done with them on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, and it just kind of gets glossed over.
No, Gundam X doesn't have a dub. We've been watching them dubbed where we can, because the dub is what was presented to us in the U.S. for most of the series, you know. But Gundam X never came over here, so it doesn't have a dub.
Yeah, and it definitely feels like this is going back to, like, yes, this is for a Japanese audience, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
First, and that doesn't. I still think the storytelling feels just you're just. It's like we're getting a summary.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like we're just getting the bare bones of the story.
Yeah, and that's why he should have been given the Absolus if it was that close. I was just saying, you know. Yeah. I was going to mention, too, real quick on Karen, you have been calling it since Ru Luca, but, man, every time there's a really cool, interesting female character design in Gundam, they just get to do nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll have a point in the scene, a scene or something. Like the scene between her, where you're talking about earlier, where she's like, you don't get to tell us where to die. That's not on you. Quit being so. Basically, call him out for being arrogant in his insecurity.
Yeah, absolutely.
The most arrogant thing you can possibly say is no one understands.
Yeah,
there's 8 billion people of us on this planet. Somebody understands.
That's right.
And I don't know. She doesn't get used like so those two characters. Definitely don't get used as good storytelling to drive the story forward.
Mm-hmm.
And the other characters I really could do without.
Mikkel and Kiki don't need to be there. They do in the game, that's true, but they added those dub voices for the game because they added those characters. The original show doesn't have a dub, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. It might have actually, made it pretty well okay over here because it's a lot more grounded in some ways than other Gundam, but it never got a dub, so it never got released here. I was going to highlight one more quick scene before we move on. It's one of the things that makes Sanders the best character in the show for sure. But it's when Mikkel is throwing his fit at Shiro, and Sanders gets tired of it and throws him.
Yeah. I can't stand Mikkel.
Yeah, good job, Sanders.
All right.
I don't blame you. Well, how would you know if you didn't try to look up the dub? He switched from Mercury as Soletta. Oh, I need to watch season 2. I like Soletta in season 1, but I'm afraid she's gonna get the Gundam female character treatment. Don't ask me that question. You know how far away Hathaway's Flash is? We have like 20 series to go before then. Don't make me tell him that. He might give up. Don't make me do that.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a good distance away. But, yeah, we still got to get Double O and Unicorn and Seed and all that fun stuff, But, let's move into weeks, good sir, if you're ready to move on.
Sure.
How's your week been?
Been all right. And fun with Lotro yesterday.
Yeah.
I watched, so I was going to talk about, you don't need to watch the, are you sure? Watched Secret Invasion.
Okay. Hurry up,
last Marvel series. I think I'm all caught up on Marvel now.
He is hurrying, Will. He is hurrying.
Try it. Not bad. Not bad. It was definitely a step up from She-Hulk, which I'm not going to crap on as hard as a lot of other people, but that's not canon. That's just making fun of the MCU.
Right.
And if that's not their intention at all, then they really are horrible writers.
Yeah.
That's She-Hulk. But Secret Invasion was pretty good. I like Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury.
Mm-hmm.
Always, trying to be trying to figure things out, and he's not a superhero. I kind of like that doing everything. The the guy who played the main villain, the actor's name is gone from my head. The villain's name I think is Gavin
Okay.
or Gavik. That guy's a really good actor. He done a great job of. He was a good villain.
Okay.
And I would like to see him in some aspect somewhere take on like a hero role. I just think he did a really good job.
I got
I
you.
don't take anything away from him. It's not. I kind of think they're. It feels like for a lot of the newer Marvel stuff, they are running just like writing the stories as fast as they can without much thought.
It does not surprise me to hear.
Well, as far as superhero goes, yeah, Iron Man's not a superhero. The suit it definitely puts him on level with it, but yeah, without that, he's just a billionaire philanthropist playboy.
He's a hero to me.
Tony Stark, and like they treated him a lot nicer in the MCU than some of the things.
Oh yeah,
but
Hank Pym too.
yeah, for sure. But it was enough to where I was like, okay. Sorry, you're not going right.
That's fair.
Yeah. That I'm not. That's like, okay, it's got other stuff coming up. I haven't completely give up on that. Everything in the future is going to be crap.
Right.
And from what I've seen so far, Secret Wars has helped bring that, or Secret Invasion, not Secret Wars, different storyline. They just tell the intern to put all the notes from the meeting and LGBT. That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me. And I would really feel that way about Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Because the way they approach some things. It's like they held up Muslim, the first Muslim superhero real big, which she's Pakistani.
Right.
That's just, that holds its own thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That should be held up more. But I don't know. I hope they kind of get back on track and actually read some of the comic books. Because comic books are stupid. I love them. They're stupid. There's storylines in there that are just insane.
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while, DC writers over there doing Superman would do some acid and write about Mr. Mixelplate.
Yep.
That's where that came from. It had to have. There's heavy drugs involved.
Just gonna throw this out here, but the CW, they're not using ChatGPT because ChatGPT would do a better job at Batwoman than what they're doing.
Yeah, and that's still a really weird thing to me. Like that movie is completed, made, and everything, and not putting it out. But then again, man, they keep fumbling. The animation, the people who did the animation for DC, and I'm talking Flash.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doom, get those people, let them do the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let Marvel animation anywhere near it.
Right.
I tell you what, just let the DC team do all the animation, and we'll try to restructure the Marvel team to do the movie.
Yeah.
We do that. But, like, I think Aquaman 2 is like getting all kinds of crap.
I don't doubt it. Aquaman, the first one, legitimately put me just.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like Aquaman as a character from the comics, where he's campy and weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Jason Momoa is a big badass dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little bit too big badass to be Aquaman.
Yeah.
Man's tough. Don't underestimate him.
Yeah.
There's a whole robot chicken jokes here to go, but don't underestimate him. But he's kind of a geek too, right?
Yeah. When people say he's not that because they think about the Justice League Unlimited run where he's got the hook hand and he lost his son. But even that Aquaman will be standing there with Superman and just be like, that whale says hi.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I remember the Amalgam comic where they had readers vote on who would win in these fights.
Yeah.
Some of them were just wrong.
Yeah.
And they had Aquaman beating Namor. Now, which both Aquaman and Namor, they haven't done a very good job on.
No.
In the movie. But anyway, the whole thing was they had to get him pinned and like to where they couldn't move.
Yeah.
And that way they won the fight. They didn't have to kill him. They just been him. So Aquaman gets a whale to jump out of the ocean and beach itself and land on Namor, which pins him.
Doesn't he have super strength? It's been a while, but
When he's wet.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the whale was fully dry by the time it landed on him.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Liked him as I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know that speaks to his acting ability. Even though I think there's a show he does called Frontier.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Really, really good. And he plays he plays a badass.
Sure.
And it fits him through that. But I don't know. I really kind of just ho-hum where the whole superhero genre maybe thing is right now.
I'm burned out. I stopped watching them.
Yeah. Well, this was my escape when I was a kid,
Yeah.
comics. So we can't always have the way that, they brought Lord of the Rings to the screen and did a good job. Peter Jackson, he missed some stuff, but it's understandable. That wasn't Arwen, got Frodo and all kinds, there was no elves at Helm's Deep and all that stuff.
Right.
But, it was forgivable for the movie, for the scenes, and he made it work.
Yeah.
I think there's a few Marvel movies that really make it work. They hit the characters.
Yeah, I agree.
But for most of them, it's just not good at all.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. But then, that was about the only thing. I'm trying to think about if I watched anything else. I feel like I have, but it's not coming to mind right now. So I'm going to pass it on. How's your week, sir?
Okay. My week's been pretty good. Yeah, my comic book escape was always Spider-Man.
Yes, yeah, they did ruin She-Hulk. I don't know why they do that to really smart characters.
I think
Like
they don't know how to write them smart.
I don't think so. There's no courtroom drama for She-Hulk. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is she's not near as powerful as a Hulk.
Yeah.
But she has helped more superheroes and everything else out by being smart and doing it. She's like, I have these powers.
Yeah.
And I've used them. She lost, but she stood up and she went toe to toe with World War Hulk.
Yeah.
And comic book fan, that's a pretty big deal. And
Yeah.
She lost, right? But so did everybody else until Sentry showed up. And Sentry is always Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we saw the same thing with. Oh, go ahead.
Hulk, they just beat each other until they both ran out of power.
Yeah. But we saw the same thing with like Death Note live action, right? They couldn't write Light as smart as he is in the series, so they just made him a dumb teenager. And they couldn't write L as smart as he is in the series, so they made him a really athletic guy that hunts down criminals. Yeah. When neither of those two fight one time, there is one exchange of punches in that entire series. Like in Death Note, the manga, right? They are not physical fighters; they're mental fighters. They just didn't know how to write them. I don't think that's my assumption, but
yeah.
But speaking of live action, I finished One Piece live action.
Okay.
And so I mentioned last week that episodes 3 and 4 were like a low point.
Yeah.
They pulled out of it full stop. It was great. Season 1 is done. Yes, it's only 8 episodes. Episodes 5 and 6 are really good, and they're the entire Baradier arc somehow. But they do cut out a lot to get that, but they get the heart of what makes Sanji's backstory so strong. And the guy that plays Red Leg Zeph, they tried to make him look a little bit more like Gordon Ramsay than Zeph, but he still has the big curly mustache, and he has that guy studied and read One Piece. He knows Zeph. He is Zeph as far as I saw him and all I could see was Zeph, I'm sure. I don't doubt that one bit. And that's what about the hat? There's a couple scenes where he has a hat on, but it's not as big as Zeph's hat, unfortunately. Red Leg Zeph in the manga has a hat that goes like way up above him for no reason, just because it's One Piece. But he doesn't have the hat, unfortunately. He has a regular sized hat. But
I know one scene from the cartoon.
Okay.
and you probably can speak to it better than I can, because I'm wondering how they pull it off. But it's where Luffy gets fifth gear, gets his last power, right?
Yeah.
So that, and he's like standing in a place where the world is different colors. It's kind of psychedelic, in a weird way, you know.
Yeah.
Trying it out and everything. I'm wondering if they're going to try to even touch that.
I don't know. I think Gear 5 is probably going to be something that's very... Gear 5 is going to be something that's very late in the series. They've confirmed... Otis confirmed a season 2, and they want to go for at least 6 seasons. I don't know if they'll go far enough to get Gear 5. It's going to be hard enough for them to pull off Gear 4.
Well, Gear 5 is like really silly, right?
Yeah, very silly.
Comic book cartoon powers.
Yes, absolutely.
Tom and Jerry cartoon powers.
Yeah, Gear 5 it's going to take a long time, and I don't think they can do it without just doing a bunch of CG. I think it's going to have to be to the levels of some of the later Marvel movies CG to be able to pull that off, and they don't have the budget for that, you know?
Because you're standing in a green screen room.
Yeah. Because like Gear 4 alone, Luffy becomes bigger, broader shouldered, and can like jump off the ground.
Yeah.
And there's like a full effect for that in the manga, and I don't know how they'd pull that off either. Like, for a good example, in episode 4 of the live action, that would be great. Yeah, that would be wonderful if they did cel shaded instead of CG. But in the live action, there's a moment where Captain Kuro is doing his quick movements that he does from early One Piece, and it's his cat out of the bag attack, right? He moves incredibly quickly. In the manga, they explain that the way he does that is that he's literally casting a spell with his feet, and he's moving like certain movements to be able to cast the spell, right? They don't do any of that in the live action. They just have him move.
I think all semantic spells in D&D should be for the feet now.
Yeah, that'd be great, right? Actually, unironically, that'd be really fun to play. But it feels like they couldn't pull that effect off that's done in the manga and the anime, where his feet are moving so fast that they're like blending into each other as he's casting it, because he's done it a bunch. That's what it tells you, right? Is he's not new to this. He's done it a million times. So they just don't have it. And I feel like that's what it's going to be. Like Usopp doesn't have his nose, you know, Sanji doesn't have his curly eyebrows. I feel like it's going to be a lot more grounded, you know? Yeah, I don't see how they can. I think they call it before they ever get to Gear 5.
Yeah. I mean, it for its time, I have to give the movie The Mask.
Yeah, for sure.
Mask, I got to give it props just for the special effects.
Remus just brought it up too.
If they went, yeah, mask style with no moderns. Yeah. Going through that, but they did a really good job on it and brought some of the cartoony stuff into the real world.
Yeah.
So I mean, I there's a level where it can be done, but
yeah,
my
gut says they stop at the time skip. There's a time skip about halfway through One Piece, maybe like 2/5 through One Piece, and my gut says they stop at the time skip, but I don't know that. I will say though, we're talking about how they do effects and things like that. Arlong is a fish man. He's the final boss of the East Blue arc in the manga. And in the live action, they did a really good job with Arlong. Like, he's got a lot of makeup on. He's got a lot of prosthetics on, but he's never CG. And all of his movements are a little stiff, but they sell it more as Arlong just being really heavy, which I'm sure with all those prosthetics he was. But instead of him being slow, right? All his movements have thought put into them. I don't know how long it took the actor to get used to those prosthetics to be able to do it, but they did a really good job with the Arlong Park fight. My biggest complaints, and I'll do like a full review, but my biggest complaints are that Usopp gets sidelined pretty hard. They don't ever actually have him say his dream in front of the rest of the crew up until the end of the show, which is, you know, kind of a shame, but there are like 5 scenes in East Blue that have to be there for East Blue to make sense. All 5 of those scenes are in the show, and all 5 of those scenes are done super well. The biggest one is the Arlong Park walk scene It's a very important scene in the anime and the manga because it's repeated twice later on when they go to other places. And man, those walk scenes, I know that sounds dumb to say they did the walk scene well, but there's a certain gravity that's put on it in the manga where Luffy tells the rest of the team, hey, it's time to go. And then they say, yeah, and walk with him. And it's portrayed super well here. I feel like they're going to have to do CG for Chopper. He's a reindeer man. I don't know how else they're going to do it, but I feel like Detective Pikachu is the way to do it there. But I wanted to highlight one more thing, which was if you're watching One Piece live action, be aware they do spoil kind of a big thing for later on in One Piece. In One Piece live action, I feel like it hasn't been a spoiler for most people for a long time, right? Because it was like 12, 13 years ago that it happened in the manga. But it is kind of, it definitely will make scenes later mean something different to you if you read the manga. Because the show is acting as if that was information you'd already have early on, which is a little bit surprising, but could be. Could be. But I want to give one last quick shout out here to the cast. They each of the main 5 characters got to meet with Oda individually, and got to have a talk with him. And the guy that plays Luffy, in his conversation with Oda, he got to like share it. They recorded it, but Oda's face is hidden because Oda he's not a public figure. His face has always been hidden. But in that conversation, the guy that plays Luffy said that, I reread all of One Piece before I got the role, and I went back and watched a bunch of scenes in the anime, and that I tried to, be as Luffy-like as possible. And Oda asked him, well, what does Luffy mean to you? And he says, well, Luffy's somebody that wants people to be free. And Oda just like started clapping, and it was like, yeah, he got the core of it in a way that a lot of people don't when they see Luffy. They see Luffy and they're like, oh, he's just an idiot that can hit things.
That's a weird. Like, I don't know how common Oda is as a name in Japan. That seems like a pretty heavy name to have in Japan.
It is a heavy name to have. Yeah, but it is his last name at least. It's not his first name. So, but Oda was very much on board with this team, and the guy that plays Sanji learned kickboxing for the role, wound up really enjoying it, and has become a kickboxer. Yeah, it's not rare, but it's not common for sure. Learned kickboxing for it, now is a kickboxer and loving it, and also didn't know how to cook.
Wait. Okay, is this like Pilates kickboxing?
No, he's like, he put in the work. I saw some clips of him hitting a bag.
No, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Not playing with another person.
No, I didn't see any clips of him sparring with another person, but
have you ever heard the name Lordzilla?
No.
Okay. Another character, somebody else you need to look up.
Okay.
I'm not going to go into it. Thai boxing, kickboxing, all that, but I say he got into kickboxing and has got the exercises and the moves down.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He seems to be, he says that it's something he wants to keep doing.
Fair enough.
And then he did not like cooking before he got the role, but Oda specifically told him he needed to learn how to cook if he was going to play Sanji. And so he started cooking all of the food for the crew.
That's cool.
And I just love little details like that. Makinyu, who plays Zoro,
Sonny Chiba's son,
as you informed me, learned how, like, the sword that's in his mouth is obviously a fake sword, right? It's not a real sword. But he actually learned how to talk around it. It sounds pretty good. It's not perfect, but they put the time in. And the girl that plays Nami, Emily Ward, I think is her name, is like legitimately a huge fan of anime. And they showed her like apartment that had all the wall scrolls and everything. Like, all right, look, you don't buy the wall scrolls if you're just trying to fake it. You buy all kinds of other stuff. But wall scrolls are like a thing from when I was a kid. That was what everybody got for anime. Now you get Dakimakuras and Figmas,
So she knows how many Dragon Balls Ash is supposed to get before he becomes the Avatar.
Yeah, she's the one we need to ask. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She's actually a thief. They'll never see this, but if you ever do and you want to come on the show, any one of you, come on. We'd love to have you for an interview.
I have some questions.
No, I just think it's really cool they put the work in, to learn it. So the guy that plays Buggy apparently had never read the series before he got the job, and so he started reading it and was like, I got to be the best character. This guy's the best guy. Why isn't he the main character?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just think that's really fun. But I'll try to run through my week pretty quick because I had a lot of stuff this week, but I don't want to bog us down too much. I played Lies of P, and the video will go up right after this podcast. It should have been up this morning. It's taking extra long to process, and I don't know why. It's been up all day, but it's not it's 360p. So, but hopefully by the time the podcast is done, it'll have finished processing.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But no, that
definition,
right?
Not even standard definition.
Yeah, I would have probably published it if it was 480, but not 360. No. That game's really fun. It is billed by a lot of people as Bloodborne with puppets, and that is pretty much what it is as far as I'm in right now. It's really, really fun, and the atmosphere is really good. Dark, that boss is really cool. I love that boss. I beat that boss right at the end of my video, and that was as far as I got. I haven't gone any further. I went into the next area, but I haven't gone any further yet, but I'm really looking forward to playing some more of it. We may do it on a Friday stream after we, finish Armored Core, but I don't know. That's a good question if they will decide to do that. The cover stories and the little side stories. But I went with the heavy weapon because I like big weapons, and I will not lie. Glad we're on the same page, buddy. Doing Dex, I don't blame you. The only big complaint that I have is that they don't tell you what the stats do. I know enough about Souls-likes to be able to guess what the stats are, right? Vigor obviously is health, not help. But what is I don't remember the names of the exact one, but one of them is like motivation. Like, what does that do? What is Legion? What does that do? Motivity. Sorry, not motivation. Motivity. Turns out that's your strength.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It is many.
Right. I like it a lot. It's a fun game so far. I really enjoy it now that I'm playing on controller. I played most of the video with mouse and keyboard, and it was a little stiff, but now that I got a controller in there, really, really good.
Right on.
With Baldur's Gate, we are right at the end of Act 2. Probably just a few cutscenes away, I'm sure, Dark, I'm sure. Act 2's final boss is really cool, and that game continues to be pretty great. I've gotten to the point now where I can conjure minor elemental and conjure major elemental. And so now I have 2 mud mephits and an earth elemental rolling around. And I've not, Dark. It's not going to happen this playthrough. I'm sorry. Next playthrough. But my mud elemental can hit like multiple enemies with his basic attack. It's like, yeah.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Continues to be great. I played some Monster Hunter Now, which is the... I understand. That is the mobile Monster Hunter game that's made by the same people as Pokemon Go. It's okay. Graphics-wise, it actually looks like Monster Hunter World, right? Gameplay-wise, you dodge out of the way a monster swings, you go in at them with sword and board, but that's the only weapon you start with. I'm assuming you have to get higher level to unlock the others. And the annoying part is that it works just like Pokemon Go, where if you're not moving, stuff's probably not going to spawn around you. And so, I don't want to have to walk all the way to town to be able to fight Monster Hunter Go to the Now. I get that reference. I don't want to have to walk all the way to town just to fight a great Jagras. No, thank you. So I'll just keep fighting these little guys that spawn around me and gather some stuff.
Get enough of them, huh?
Yep. I'll become strong by fighting rats. I got my first legendary. A great Jagras, not a great jacket. I got my first legendary in Guild Wars 2. It's really cool. It's a hammer called the Juggernaut, which has Atlas holding up the world inside the middle of it. And the sphere that is the world inside the middle of it is full of Quicksilver. And so when I attack things, the Quicksilver sloshes out and looks really cool. And also it gives me like a layered armor top of myself. And when I run, there's Quicksilver steps behind me.
Okay.
I like it a lot. Recorded audio for a video on that, and recorded the footage for that, and I'll edit it after this podcast because I didn't want it rendering while we were trying to do a podcast. And then lastly, I beat Armored Core 6 completely. I have all the parts. I've done all the missions. I recorded the audio for the review and got a little bit of B-roll for the review. I got to get a little bit more. I could just pull from the streams, I guess, but I want to do some varied shots for the review. Yeah, I want to keep playing it. But that game's still really good, and I'm excited for us to continue our playthrough on Friday. Hopefully we'll finish it. If not, that's okay too. We'll have another week. Oh no, another week of Armored Core. Oh no. But
My heart.
that game's really good, so I think that's everything for my week.
Okay.
So we'll move into reviews. Our first one I hope you're excited for. It is The Crew Motorfest. I know you love the Crew series.
Well, I just think,
Sure, they will remodel.
the world would lose nothing if we didn't get another Crew game. Kind of like if TikTok disappeared. The world would lose.
Yep. Yep.
That happened.
You reviewed this last week?
Mm.
So, I have a few blurbs for you, but as always, first, what are you doing, cat? Sorry. As always, before that, what do you think the critic average score is?
82.
Okay. Looks like chat's already given their answers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got my eye on Darks because she said you already reviewed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The score is 77.
Okay.
Faith was one off. I want to look. I'm gonna be honest with you. A bunch of these reviews are trying to get on the back of the box, like always. There's not a lot of reviews for this game. There are 32 reviews. Generation Xbox says, and this is a good one. I skipped past all the others to get to this one, right? The Crew Motorfest starts from this maxim, being an essential work for any fan of driving arcades. A fun, varied title, full of content, customizable at all levels, and visually superb. A title that improves the experience of past deliveries, offering us more freedom to play, new types of challenges, and a much bigger online experience with more possibilities.
It's weird to me because of all the games that look great over the years. Car games were one of the first to like really nail it.
Oh yeah.
I think what was it, Gran Turismo 5 maybe? I don't remember when it came out, but it looked so good, so pristine. I don't know. I'm kind of worried about this. Getting the cars is slow though.
Yeah.
It seems like there should be lots of them, and you should pick up quite a few rather easily.
Yeah.
In your game, some of them are going to be ass, but still.
Yeah.
You should be slow going in the cars. That's weird.
Every 1 to 2 races at least, you should be getting a new car, roughly for the first start, like first 30 races, probably.
Yeah, or at least the ability at that point, you can get this car, right? If you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
The second blurb for you is from CG Magazine, which says, gorgeous and full of varied events, it still isn't nearly enough to help the Crew Motorfest stand up to other top racing dogs, thanks to a laundry list of poor decisions, awkward vehicle handling, and a distinct failure to make use of some of the franchise's strongest attributes.
Like getting cars?
Right.
Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and blurt out 70
Okay.
on the minute score. Yeah. Just a good 7-0. 2 from Faith. 75.
Score is 69%.
That's one off.
Pretty close. Everybody's shooting around the mark there.
69 dudes. You get the reference. You're old and I love you.
Next up is Gunbrella. This is a 2D side scroller where you use a gun that's also an umbrella.
If Rihanna did gangster rap.
Pretty good. What do you think?
Gunbrella. Like, it really seems like it'd be something in the Avengers, not the superhero Avengers, the English Avengers.
Yeah.
The spy Avengers, I'll put it that way.
Right.
74.
Okay.
Gunbrella.
Under my gunbrella.
What? Ella. Ella. Ella.
The score is 81.
81, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I was marking off points for the name, but that's all right.
So your first review is from Video Games Are Good. Made from, that's fair. It says, playing Gunbrella reminded me of the first time I played classics like Cave Story, Untitled Story, and Owlboy. You mean classic? Just real quick aside, Trey here. Do you mean classics as in they came out a long time ago, or classics as in when they came out they were that good? Because Owlboy came out like 4 years ago. Anyway, continue. Games.
Yeah, when you're 20, that is,
Yeah, that's true.
Life, so
that's true. Games that nailed that vibe in all facets, provided a play experience that I could just lose myself in and didn't overstay their welcome. Games that delivered satisfaction on all levels. Games that more than earned that declarative video games are good while playing. Jointsoft has already cemented itself as a studio worth following with games like Gato Roboto and Demon Throttle, but Gunbrella makes them a no-questions-asked team moving forward. It's one of the best games I've played all year.
okay. I seem to have fun with it.
They seem to. Alternatively, Games Blast says Gunbrella arouses curiosity with its unique concept of a weapon that combines a shotgun and an umbrella. Thanks for spelling that out for me. The versatility of this hybrid equipment is explored in visceral and challenging combat, and there are also sections of exploration that require intelligent use of the umbrella. It's an experience that has good moments, especially in combat and ambiance, but that fails to maintain a consistent level throughout its duration. The adventure's worth it, but it's important to be willing to overlook the problems.
All right. So I got an issue, and it's a dumb one, but I got an issue through there. A shotgun, really?
Yeah.
It's an umbrella with a shotgun, not a pistol round, not a rifle round. It's a shotgun.
Apparently.
Okay, there's such things as these gun umbrellas, by the way.
Yeah.
Using spycraft and things like that. I don't know that any of them were a shotgun.
They fire a single round most of the time.
Yeah. A single round, single thing going out. I mean, what I'm thinking about, we could press enter. Oh no! Flipping over your controller, Will.
That's how angry he is about these reviews.
Right? Let's do that. Not that. Flipped it over and smacked him in the cheek. What happened there, Will? Come on, man. All right. Now I'm just thinking because like a 410,
Yeah.
I guess buckshot in it. That's your umbrella shaft's still going to be pretty thick.
Yeah.
It can't be a 12 gauge or a 20 gauge. That's going to be a real suspicious looking umbrella.
Slow down, Will.
That's beside the point.
Slow down, Will.
That's beside the point. Love you, Bubba. I don't know. I'm gonna go 79.
Oh, you're right. You do get an ice cream. You're right, Will. I will add you to the ice cream chart. Dropped the axe. Trying to put Will's name up there. Come on, Trey.
All right, look. Will is Will. You can't be Will. All right?
Right. You're right.
You'll never make it.
The score is 87%.
Okay, that's a little bit higher than I expected.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. We were all shooting around that, high C, low B range.
Call me interested.
Okay.
Next up is Mortal Kombat 1. I feel like I need to clarify for everybody real quick. The Switch version is getting a lot of heat right now. You need to know this before you vote, because the Switch version doesn't render cutscenes the same way. What they did to cut back on money there, 87 was the score. What they did to cut back on how much rendering power and on money is for the Switch version, they just removed all expression from all the characters' faces. So in cutscenes, or in intros, or fatalities, none of them have any expression at all.
They are very stoic fighters.
Mhm.
The problem is, okay? They're much more stoic on the Switch.
Especially Johnny Cage. They removed all their glasses. Yeah. None of them could see, so they just...
Hey, that's another layer of programming you got to put in there, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, boy, I bet it'll work on the Switch too.
I bet it will too, yeah.
Because that's going to be as powerful as the newest PlayStation and the newest Xbox.
Right.
So Mortal Kombat 1. 76.
Okay. 51 reviews, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
68, 70, 73. A 1.
Score is 84.
Okay. This may not be too bad, though.
A little bit higher. Games Radar says Mortal Kombat 1 is a superbly presented fighting game with something to offer players of all experiences and familiarity with NetherRealm's sprawling MK universe. The cameo fighter system injects new strategic depth into combat. The rebooted timeline feeds a ridiculous story, retake, and the suite of game modes are both varied and well made. However, IGN says Mortal Kombat 1 proves to be too much for the Switch's dated hardware. The load times are egregious. There are numerous bugs plaguing both graphics and gameplay, making for a poor quality port of a great game that's all around aggravating to play. And if you want a review that's not of a Switch version, Entertainment Geekly says Mortal Kombat 1 is a paradox, a game that manages to be both exhilarating and underwhelming. It opens up the fighting arena to newcomers without alienating its core fan base, yet falls short of fully realizing its most innovative ideas.
Okay. I'm going to keep my 76.
Okay.
Look at that.
Not 86, it doesn't matter. Score is 90%. I've never seen a game with a 90 that has this many 3 out of 10s.
Yeah, I think I would just recommend going back and playing the original Mortal Kombat.
Right.
As stiff as it is, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
But that's kind of weird.
I feel like they might have excluded the Switch reviewers from the recommended score.
Maybe.
Finally, we have Lies of P.
Oh, this game's got... it's getting pushed so hard. You know what? I'm gonna give in to the peer pressure, and I'm gonna go 89.
Okay.
For Lies of P. 89.
Anybody that might have forgotten, this is the Bloodborne-like with puppets. And I say Bloodborne-like because it doesn't have a dodge roll. It has a dodge like to the side like Bloodborne. It is very much following that design idea.
Lies of P. That's not my puddle.
And it seems like your character might be Pinocchio. That's neither here nor there. The critic score is 82.
Okay. Not bad. A couple of us got close there.
I have 2 very interesting, in my mind, reviews for you. I think these are both pretty well done blurbs. The first is from Gaming Trend, who says, Lies of P is a gorgeous, bloody, unforgiving game which builds off the well-tread Souls template to create a wholly original adventure that never ceases being a joy to explore and experience. With top-tier combat, fantastic enemy and boss designs, and intricate and often interweaving areas to explore, the game remains fresh despite the 30-plus hours required for a first playthrough. I may be a sucker for these types of games. Lies of P hit absolutely every note needed to draw me into its often grotesque, yet surprisingly emotional world. Lies of P may be based on a well-known and overtold fairy tale, but watching it unfold in a mature setting with a likable cast of characters and dire stakes makes the story that much more enthralling.
Okay.
BG247 says, there's some enjoyment to be found in Lies of P. The action is competent, but lacks the polish and stir of its contemporaries. Its atmosphere can be engrossing, but it's a hodgepodge of themes and aesthetics you've seen before that never rises above the familiar. I was never impressed by it, and I never stopped questioning the point of the entire endeavor throughout my time with it.
Okay. All right, then. All right. Think about this for a minute, and I'll give my score. 75.
75.
75. Got 74 from Will. That was for the 80. Faith with 78.
Score is 87%.
Okay.
One off, Dark.
Yes.
As usual. All right. Well, we'll move into announcements. We got a handful of these to burn through. There was a Nintendo Direct. I'm not going to go through every announcement from both the Direct and the State of Play. There were quite a few of them, you know. That was 87 twice. That's true. But the big ones are Paper Mario Thousand Year Door HD. So Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is finally getting a remake. It's been stuck on GameCube for many, many years with no way to play it today because it's not on the eShop. It's not, you can't backwards compat it. You could emulate it. That's the only way you could play it, but that's happening. Yeah, I'm not Nami. F-Zero 99 got announced, which is like Tetris 99, but F-Zero, 99 players on a track. Seems pretty cool, but you can only play it if you have Nintendo Switch Online membership.
Yeah.
Is a shame.
I put some time into the original F-Zero.
Yeah. Princess Peach Showtime got shown off. This is the first, in many ways, Princess Peach game. She gets costumes, kind of like how Mario gets power-ups, and some of them
play OnlyFans.
Right. Some of them are actually pretty cool. Like one of them is she becomes a fencer, and one of them, not that sells black market stuff, the Musketeer style fencer, and one of them she becomes a wuxia monk. Not a Shaolin monk. She's like a wuxia style. And it's to fight enemies, so that could be cool, you know? We'll see. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. We expected that. A side-scrolling Prince of Persia game called Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
That is a series that they kind of put in the ground. So it wasn't a bad series. I think it needs a good revival in a way.
There's been another Peach game. I guess I missed that one. Her special abilities are emotions in that one. I think I prefer costumes instead of emotions. Yeah. Hopefully it's good, you know. Super Mario RPG Remake got another trailer. It really feels like they're just remaking Mario games at this point, which is fine, I guess, but I like Super Mario RPG. If they add stuff to this remake, I'll be all for it, right? But if not, I have ways I can play that game. Dave the Diver's coming to Switch. That's one of the highest rated games for the year. I haven't played it. I haven't tried it. I don't know anything about it, but apparently, you know, coming to Switch. And Detective Pikachu Returns got another trailer. And then there's more Amiibo coming. Those were the biggest, I guess. Unicorn Overlord is a new tactics RPG from the same studio that made 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. Looks pretty cool. I'm kind of excited for that one. And then Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes got a new trailer. It's just Suikoden, but without Konami. And so, you know, I'm all for that. But that was pretty much it. WarioWare new game got announced. But, you know, pretty much it for the Nintendo Direct stuff. Then we have the state of play announcements, which also was not a lot of stuff, but we'll still burn through it pretty quickly. We have... There was a new trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It showed off Red 13 and Kate Sith playable characters. That's cool. Definitely story spoilers for the first game in there, in that trailer, which is a choice to make, but, you know. New Spider-Man trailer. Yeah, Kate Sith. New Spider... Maybe they'll actually make him good in this one, because he's not very good in OG7. New Spider-Man trailer that showed Spider-Man 2 that shows some new costumes. That's fine. That's cool. A new RE4 DLC called Separate Ways that's about Ada Wong. The Avatar game got a trailer. They showed off some new faceplates and DualSense stuff. The guy that made Getting Over It by Bennett Foddy is making a new game called Baby Steps. Roblox is coming to PS4? Not even PS5, just PS4. And then Helldivers 2 got a new trailer, Foam Stars got a new trailer, and Tales of Arise is getting a new expansion. And that was pretty much the state of play announcements.
Okay.
Which is weird, because we got another thing confirmed we're going to get to in a minute that I thought would have been there, you know? But it wasn't there. From there, this is more of just a, hey, this is cool announcement. They didn't get into a lot of details. But Hades 2 is not going to be exclusive on launch. The first one was Epic Game Store exclusive for a long time. This one's coming to both Epic Game Store and Steam when it comes out. In early access still, like the original Hades, but at least it won't be exclusive. That's cool. And then, I wish I had more information to give you about this one, but I don't. Red Dead Redemption 3 is coming out. They're making it now. They officially confirmed it. They kind of had to, because when I was doing the research for this, I found out that shareholders leaked it last week. And so they kind of had to make a statement about it. But their only statement is just, yeah, we're making it, you know?
Well, after the whole Red Dead Day Online debacle they had, and the way they treated some of the players there, I don't know. And some other mistakes that company's made, I just don't know if I trust Rockstar anymore.
I'm right there with you, my friend. Sorry, there's a cat out there trying to eat plastic. Been hot in the house, and this room has an air conditioner in it, so I've been trying to leave the door open, you know.
Yeah.
Lastly is Game Pass games for the month, which is like a weird step. Normally they do it at the start of the month, and we covered those, and they don't do it again until the next month, but got like a weird step here in the middle. But when we covered it at the start of the month, it was only 3 games. So maybe they just had some licensing problems getting stuff together. We talked about Lies of P last time. That's available on Cloud Console PC. Party Animals is coming to Cloud and Console. This is a game where you play as animals and throw each other around and try to kill each other.
Where did that animation come from?
I think that is the Gang Beast style animation. Yeah.
Yeah, the real floppy, kind of weird movement looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's bizarre. I don't like it.
I don't either. Payday 3 is Cloud, PC, and Console on September 21st. Cocoon is Console and PC September 29th. That's day 1. This is made by the lead gameplay designer of Limbo and Inside.
Interesting.
Then Gotham Knights is coming to Cloud, PC, and Console October 3rd. You're excited to play that. There you go. Lamplighters League is coming to Cloud, Console, and PC October 3rd. Seems like it's trying to be more of like the old, I say old, it was Xbox 360, the Lara Croft asymmetrical games that they did. That were like dungeon crawlers.
Yeah.
Seems like it's going for that kind of feel.
Tomb of Osiris or something like that?
Yeah. The games that are leaving are Beacon Pines, Despot Game, Last Call BBS, Moonscars, Outriders, which was a big game when it came out, but kind of died. Proteus and Weird West. That's our Game Pass games for the month, and that concludes our announcements for the month. The week.
The week.
And that leads us to news. So this first one is just, I tried to give you like a good pattern of, hey, this is cool, to, oh, what is this? What is this garbage fire? Oh, this is funny. So we'll see how that pulls off. But BattleBit Remastered has a brand new update coming. Trying to find the tab while I'm talking. There it is. It has 3 new gadgets. I guess you could say it's 2 weapons and 1 grenade trophy thing that you can put against grenade spam. It blocks a grenade for you. Because they're trying to cover that too, because people are a little spammy with grenades. There's more improvements for support classes, more community servers, better hit registration. The vehicles are a little bit stronger now, so they can actually make it off the ground for the helicopters. They're adding more options for game audio, including directional bullet passes. That's not a small thing to add in, that your bullets now have directional sound for every individual bullet that's fired.
That's cool.
So that's really handy for a game as big as it is. And it's going to have a new map. You're going to be able to filter weapons. And they added a couple other good quality of life features, like, hey, here's some old maps back from the early access. So some good stuff. Excited for BattleBit fans. That game only continues to get better.
That's good.
Speaking of getting better, Cyberpunk 2.0. They've moved all the way up with their updates to a full-on 2.0 update, which has some pretty big changes to it, honestly. A lot of people thought they'd have to wait for a lot of this stuff until the expansion, but the big stuff are like perk trees have been reworked. So there are a couple. I haven't played Cyberpunk myself, but from what I've read, a couple of perk trees were kind of useless. Like, hey, you get 10% more damage with SMGs. Like, okay, you had to put like 30 trait points into that though to get that. Now it's harder to hit you in that trait line while you're moving. Bullets have a harder time hitting you while you're in motion. It's like, that's actually like, that changes the way you play the game. That's what you want perks to be, you know? And they added car combat. You can now fight, you can now shoot out of your car like you could in the trailer for the game.
Well,
so, you know.
Now, the trailer was a little bit misleading.
Little bit. So I think it's cool that they're trying to add stuff, and you can now pet cats. So
very important.
It's getting there, you know. And then pets cats. Lastly, for our like quick short, hey, this is all that's going on here news. Steam Deck OS is upgrading again. This is 3.5 update, and what it's adding is more color to the screen. They found ways to get more color out of the tech they already put in there, which is cool. And it's also adding where you can now enable HDR if you're hooked up to a high-definition television. Okay. Probably should have been in there before, to be honest, but, you know. Yeah. Glad it's in there. Yeah, a lot of little fixes here and there, but I just think it's cool that they're actually updating it instead of just abandon-wearing it like every other handheld console has been.
Yeah.
But now we get into the actual, like, hey, this is oh no stuff before we dive all the way down into the elevator. Immortals of Avium is dying. We talked about this game right after it came out and how nobody was playing it. Well, it's killed its own studio now.
Oh, man.
I will give you a direct quote here. Immortals of Avium creator Ascendant Studio has laid off nearly half of its staff, according to 3 people at the studio. Workers estimated that before the layoffs, the studio employed 80 to 100 people. Around 40 people were laid off. Ascendant CEO Brett Robbins announced the layoffs in a meeting on Thursday. One former worker told Polygon that Immortals of Avium's poor sales were cited for the layoffs, which were said to be necessary to keep the studio running. So, yeah.
And that seemed to be, in a weird way, where kind of easier never to put out a game. I'm not saying it's easy to put out
Right.
a game, but with the engines used to build them, there's a lot of shortcuts that they can use and stuff like that. That games failing is really hitting. It's like one game can be your end of your studio now.
Yeah, I think that's exactly why they didn't send out review codes. And you're right. Like,
Yeah.
not even talking about the Unity stuff with what's going to happen next year if they don't change it. Like, one bad game can kill you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get an update on that. It's just, maybe they'll be able to stay open and make something else, but right now it's looking pretty rough. So I thought I'd put this one next so that it may be the mortals that made Avium. But I put this one next so hopefully it could bring up the mood a little bit. We might all get a good laugh. That's very true. That's the Square Enix problem of, we spent so much money on this game. Why didn't it make that much money back?
Well, yeah, then you get lazy. You got all that money in, handing it around, getting the stockholders to high five so it looks good.
Yep.
Money's paid to keep people happy, keep the right marketing stuff going. And yeah, the whole development of the game is kind of secondary in the system.
Yep. Yeah, they definitely inflate how much games should. So, Destiny 2 has a bug that is actually game breaking this time.
Okay.
And this bug allows you, they have put in a hotfix to stop you from crafting anymore, but they added a crafting system to weapons where you could combine like different frames to stuff. And the goal was to make it where you could collect parts as part of their new grind for making the best weapons in the game, collect parts to be able to build the weapons, right? On the one hand, hey, it's probably going to be a grind, but on the other hand, it is kind of satisfying when you build a really cool weapon, and it'll be yours, and maybe that'll help with people always just trying to play meta builds, It's a decent idea on paper. Implementation of it, however, they did not lock it to what types of weapons you were able to build to the right type. So you could take and build a grenade launcher shotgun or a bazooka assault rifle, and it would fire those rounds at the speed and with the spread of whatever frame they were put on.
Nice.
Now, right now, the fix that's out is that you can't do it anymore. But the weapons that were already made are still out there. So PvP and PvE are a complete mess right now.
I imagine.
As soon as somebody figured out they could put a grenade launcher SMG together, it was over. That thing's firing grenades. Like, you're done. The next patch that's going to be coming in 2 weeks, by the way, will remove all weapons that are already crafted and put them back in their parts. And then you will be able to recraft actual weapons you're supposed to be using. Jane there? Probably not, but he would love it. So, just unintended accident, But it's completely broken. You think they would test that, yeah?
It would test for it, or at least have an idea how guns work.
Yep.
Let's take a guy from Dr. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they did specify, even though they could have just rolled back the servers and that would have fixed it, they didn't want to do that because it would also roll back people's progression. And so this is the fix. It's, for 2 weeks you probably won't be able to play PvP, but at least you don't lose 2 weeks worth of progression, I agree, though, they absolutely should have caught this, and it's why they should have a test server, and they don't, to roll stuff out on.
Yeah.
But. So we all got a kick out of that. Let's talk about Unity.
All right.
Let's talk about Unity. So Unity has backtracked on a lot of their stuff. They've specified that they are not going to be charging people back fees for stuff that came out before the start of the year. They've specified that they won't be taking money from like specific charities, but there are some charities that they absolutely will expect a fee from still, which is interesting to me. It's only. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just wondering what they're going to base that on.
Yeah.
Like what,
The two they've listed so far are Planned Parenthood and C.S. Mott Children's Hospital. Those are not valid charities according to Unity. Which is okay. United we stand against Unity. But
that's such a look. What? No.
yeah. You don't get to just say this is not a charity.
Yeah, you can't. No.
No.
If you agree with it, it's one thing.
Right.
But no, they can't just say that they're not valid.
Yeah.
It's something more than that.
Look, there's a lot that has come up about the CEO recently. I don't know if he's on any political side. I think he's on the politician side of I want money. But man, it gets crazy. So those are things they backtracked on, right? They also said that they would leave it up to the individual developers who tell them how many downloads they've had. Which I feel like that's not true, because they could just lie and Unity would have the numbers. However, it gets dumber. Zero forever. Yeah, right. Because a couple different things have happened. A lot of different devs, over 500 of them, by the way, 503 as of the start of this podcast, have signed an open letter saying that, hey, we're not going to use Unity from now on. We'll finish the projects we're working on, and that's it. We're done. And we're no longer going to allow any advertising for Unity in our games. We will physically remove the Unity logo from our game, because we are within our rights to do that.
Yeah. Well, I think there's going to be a lot of delisting after January 1st.
Yeah.
Games are going to be delisted. They're not going to hold them up.
Yeah.
There's people, they're not going to want to pay.
No, I don't blame them. All of these different devs doing that is cool, right? That's awesome. I'm glad that they're speaking out about it. But there's one dev that's gone above and beyond on it, in my opinion, and that is Relogic. Relogic makes Terraria. Relogic is not using Unity. Terraria is not made out of Unity.
Okay.
But Relogic has donated $100,000 to both Godot and FNA, which are two other engines. Two engines that don't have a lot of the options that Unity has, because they don't make as much money as Unity. And they've said they'll donate an additional $1,000 a month until the start of the year to both of those.
Yeah, don't Google it.
Yeah, don't Google that. But just like, hey, we want to support these engines that aren't doing this. You know?
Yeah.
And then I guess we got to talk about the alleged insider trading. So, the CEO of Unity used to be the EA guy, right? Everybody knows this story at this point. He's the guy that wanted to monetize reloading in video games and in shooters, and EA fired him. He was encouraged to leave. He's now CEO of Unity, and ever since he's been CEO of Unity, which is last year, he has been selling off stock in little bits and pieces. Unity teams up with Iron Source, which is a mobile engine company that also does marketing and things like that. And 3 of Iron Source's head guys are now on the board of directors for Unity, allegedly. It's provable, but allegedly, just for legality's sake. 2 of those 3 people have been selling stock as well, one of which dumped a lot of stock right before the announcement that Unity was going to do this.
I wonder how much you bought back.
Right. This is allegedly insider trading, which is illegal. Not cool, right? I don't know. There was, and after all this, there was a bomb threat at a Unity studio. And people on the internet started to turn and say, hey, maybe we've been too rough with Unity. You know, people are taking it too far. Come to find out, the bomb threat came from one of their own employees who was fed up that he wasn't being listened to. Not saying he should have done a bomb threat, but point is, it's internal because apparently Unity employees have known about this for a few weeks and have been telling management, this is not going to go well. You're going to cost us our jobs. This is stupid. But they're still doing it. And as much as they backtracked, they're still expecting people to pay the revenue. It's not that much they haven't backtracked on.
Well, that's their goal.
Yeah.
I mean, I do believe it's already been shown. They've already figured out that, making it retroactive is illegal.
Yeah.
That they won't be able to do that. So they're going to go hard on what they can get.
Yeah.
And look, if you wanted money, and I'm talking not just to the guy, I'm talking to the company Unity.
Right.
If you want that much money from it, you should charge at the beginning.
Yep. That's absolutely right. There was a really great graph that was put up. I found out about it because I'm voice critical, but there's a really great graph that was put up from a Reddit user. It was like, hey, I did the math. This is the curve, and each color on the graph that he made is progressively darker as it's how much money it's going to cost people just for the games that are already out next year. And the black line of at least 35 games that are going to bankrupt their studios if they continue to be downloaded at the level they're being downloaded this year.
So dumb.
And if a Redditor can put those numbers together and then a Unity employee fact check them and say that's correct, then Unity had those numbers too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They went so hard that when they backtrack, people are like, okay, well, we can live with this.
Yeah. No, I don't think that Unity had a really good position as far as the engine goes. And I think they could have done rather well with like a flat sale price.
Yeah.
And they've kind of ruined themselves.
Yep. They had built up so much goodwill over the years, and it's gone.
Yeah.
It is gone. The internet hates them right now.
Stop reading the book from Wizard of the Coast.
Yeah, right? Next is the Pinkertons. So I thought after that, we could use a little pick-me-up. Right? Because the Unity stuff is rough. So let's talk a little about how Overwatch 2 has released official ages for all the characters. You may say, why are we even talking about this? I just want to point out here, I have not kept up with, I've not kept up with all the Overwatch lore. I have no reason to. I don't play Overwatch. I can't stand Blizzard. But this is a chance to goof on Blizzard. So, Blizzard doesn't know how to do math.
You have phones.
Right, yeah, you guys got phones, right? I'll give you a couple fun ones here. The character Kiriko, in her backstory, in her first trailer, it's revealed that she grew up with the characters Genji and Hanzo and trained alongside them that's very true, in the Way of the Sword. The official age for Genji is 37. The official age for Hanzo is 40. Kiriko's 21. How did she... What?
No, 2 millennials and a Gen Zer. No wonder the game's terrible.
How did she train with them as a child and learn the Way of the Sword along with them if they were also supposed to be children when the youngest age gap is 16?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, time travel for sure. Sojourn is 47, right? Her sister Valentine is supposed to be mother of a character named Bonnie, which is Sojourn's niece. But because they didn't do the math right, Valentine must have been 14 years old when she had that baby.
Okay. Yeah, that's
so
not unheard of.
We're going back some years into the medieval style things. The first Pride event they had revealed that Mercy and Farah are gay, right? And into each other, which, they weren't when Farah was first written, but, hey, that Blizzard rewrote a lot of the characters to be all kinds of different things. One of the characters used to be a robot. Now he's human stuck in a robot's body. completely contradicts his lore, but it's fine. Yeah, they are apparently. I didn't know that either till I was reading this, because again, I haven't kept up on the lore. Mercy's 39, Farrah's 34, right? However, there's art of Farrah being a young girl with the original team of Overwatch, which her mother Anna is a member of, and Mercy was 21 in that picture. There's no way that Farrah's 34. That's not how that works.
Maybe it's dog years or something. I don't know.
Somebody's lying about their age.
Right.
Just, can't even check your own lore to be like, oh yeah, it was very important to Farrah's character that she grew up hearing stories of the original Overwatch team, which Mercy was a part of. It just
about consistency.
Yeah. So I thought that might be fun to goof on that a little bit, because people are rightly calling them out, right? It's complete nonsense,
Yeah. Well,
Like-
the whole thing is like, I think it's silly. They are so they do have some consistency.
That's true.
Based on that statement, that's true. They do have some consistency. You're right.
Yeah.
That argument just flattens me. I've got nothing.
Fair. Yeah.
You win.
That's fair.
It's awful. I don't know, man. It's so weird the way the whole business works.
Yeah.
Like how, you're a big enough company, if you got shareholders, you are legally required to keep them happy.
Yeah.
Not your audience, not your employees, not anybody part of the team that's putting stuff together.
Yeah.
The shareholders. And it's like movies. There's so many movies, I guarantee you, that got messed up because the producers behind it decided that even though they're not storytellers in any shape, form, or fashion, they know best about the direction it's supposed to take.
Yeah.
And Overwatch 2 is bleeding them because nobody's buying their BS. They really got lazy to put out Overwatch 2.
Yep.
That is really, really lazy, and they want a pat on the back for it.
Yep.
And they're not the only ones. It's kind of consistent through things. It's like, I'm not putting much into this. You should just appreciate it.
Yeah.
And if you don't appreciate it, you're a horrible person.
Yep.
Because I spent 3 hours the other day, on this game.
Yeah. No, it's complete nonsense. I fully agree. Also, Mercy being 39 now, when she supposedly was young with Soldier 76, who's now 60. That doesn't work. I'm sorry.
One was sent from the Earth at the speed of light. I'm not going into it.
Have you ever heard the phrase, you're writing the movie for them?
Yeah.
You're writing the lore for them. Yeah, that's exactly right.
It is. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. If we weren't, if you keep the gamers happy, they spend the money. Therefore, your company gets profits, and you can pass on some of those profits to your shareholders as dividends and things like that. You don't have to be cheap and quick and try to find the fastest way,
I agree. I do have one more news story for you.
Okay.
And this one is breaking news as of a little bit before the podcast. Microsoft had a leak. Now, you ask this question every time. This time, there's no doubt in my mind, because they confirmed it was them that put the leak out. Because originally, people were blaming the FTC, was the roof, and saying the FTC made this leak. And then the FTC put out a thing that was like, no, Microsoft sent us that link. We didn't leak this out. They sent it publicly to us. And then Microsoft was like, yeah, we did send them that link. So what this is the next console. Yep. Yep. It is. People are a little upset about this right now. It is called right now the Xbox Series X refresh, codename Brooklyn.
Yeah. Now this is after. This is going to be if I've got it right, because this is one I've actually seen a little bit on. You're going to have the digital console coming up pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be this Christmas.
Yeah, supposed to be.
No disc on it, just
Right.
all digital. Xbox on that, and then they want a new system in 2028.
Yeah,
I think was
2028.
Okay, they're shooting for now. Excuse me. Game developers and things like that, they haven't pushed this generation of systems,
right?
Except maybe Switch.
Yeah,
but this generation of systems to their max on what they can do.
Right.
I pull up the Xbox 360. If you look at the games, the graphics and everything at the beginning of that console, and then what they were doing at the end of it, it was a huge jump.
Oh yeah.
People haven't had enough time with the current range, except maybe for the Switch.
Yeah.
Which I still don't think needs a Switch 2 at this point in time. But there's still so much that can be done with the systems that we have now.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not just trying to be cool.
Yeah.
Be cutting edge.
Well, and the Brooklyn is so weird too, because the numbers they give for it, I don't believe them. Right? Like they say that it's improved sustainability. They've reduced PSU power by 15%. So it's supposed to be able to run a lot longer without, any problems. And a new low power standby mode is 20% of the current Series S standby mode. Like, is it? Like, how much more can you push low power to be any different than it currently is?
I mean, okay. Backtrack a little bit here, but there's this thing, I probably mentioned it before. It's called Moore's Law.
Yeah.
About every 2 years, there's going to be a big jump in basically computer programming, hardware or software.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like they're trying to force that in a weird way.
In RAM. It really feels like it, yeah.
Well, I think that the RAM was some of the stuff they're like, we're running DDR6 in this. And I think they gave some numbers. They didn't give bus speeds about anything or efficiency about anything. It's just the big generic numbers.
Yeah, it's weird numbers in a lot of ways too. Like they specify that the Wi-Fi 6E radio for better throughput, latency, and interface mitigation. I could be wrong on this, but based on what I was Googling earlier, we don't have 6E radio for Wi-Fi yet. And even if we do, why would I play a console Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
This one also, speaking of which, is going to be all digital. The new console won't have a disk drive. So get used to your new diskless future, I guess, because that's what they all want.
Try to buy you a laptop, a decent laptop, with a disk. They'll take a disk.
Yep.
That was impossible to find.
Why I have this? Because I had to have it.
That's interesting. That's kind of cool. Interesting.
He sends to that. Okay, that's cool. I think it feels to me like they want to push that streaming angle again of streaming games to your console that Sony tried to push with the PlayStation Now, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
But, the other big thing I wanted to mention here is that they've announced a new optional disc drive add-on. Yeah, I'm sure it will. A new controller as well. And it's got too many features on here that feel to me like, hey, we just wanted cool stuff in there. Like, instead of having to power your controller on, lift it up and it turns itself on. Like, what if I just want to move it? But like,
right. Yeah. There's so many things that they can do with the system that would be making it more accessible.
Yep.
And when I say that, I mean it across the board, from people who have no, I need a very special controller. or I can't play anything, right? That's my disability to people that have, troubles with other things.
Yeah.
Not as heavy as that, right? There's so much they can do.
I don't like the way it looks either. I fully agree.
Well, aren't they? We're getting a new Xbox controller that's going to be basically pulling from the PlayStation 5 controller.
Yeah, it's very similar to that. And the current controller's name is the Sibyl.
Saying, and I've seen some cool stuff. That stuff interests me because when they put out a controller for an accessibility controller or whatever, that I can look at that and go, wow, I wouldn't have thought
Right.
the world way.
Yeah.
It's not obviously, right?
Yeah.
That's not how my brain would picture the world. And when it's something like that, that's kind of eye-opening and it's cool. And I think it should really be explored. I got to play with one. Imagine you did too. That thing was terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, it was, man.
No, I agree, but it was so cool.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
It was so bad.
Not even Fred Savage could make it cool, okay? It was awful. Didn't hardly work right. You had to put this weird thing on your TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
The last thing I have for you on this is a list of their goals for 2030 for the console.
Yeah.
Funded, in the funded section of this, cloud console, which is the new console, right? No physical discs. Gen 10 investigations, so already looking at the next one after that. Mid-gen consoles, which would be another step up, but in between Gen 10, I guess. A wireless headset, which is a weird thing to be like, yeah, we're also working on a wireless headset. I do know who Fred Savage is, thank you. The core controller, the Sibyl, as we mentioned. A new security module for it. And then a design lab for a mid-controller upgrade, right?
Yeah.
Not funded or resourced yet, but on the plan are another Elite controller called the Actium. They don't even know what it's going to look like yet, but they've already... The Actium. A luxury controller that they're calling the Zarasai. More... Go ahead.
A luxury controller.
Yeah.
You don't play games like the plebes.
Yeah.
You don't play games like the poors.
I love that this is in the not funded section. Repairability.
Okay, look, man. This has been... They already are over $100 for a controller.
Yeah.
For a lot of them. If you want to get it customized at all, you're going to be paying bucks for it.
Yeah.
Ugh. Man.
Then, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
In the final section, which is not in scope for first-party games yet. So this is past 2030, right? This should be the biggest, craziest stuff, right? We're moving into like 2035. Earbuds. A media remote.
They're waiting for Raycon to sponsor them. That's what it is.
A handheld. And a mobile controller to go on your phone.
Ugh.
Those are 2035 ideas. Who would ever think of making a media remote? Exactly. The Xbox had one.
I had one. That was when, because it's a wonder the Xbox. I'm glad it did.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Xbox. It's kind of solid. The 360, but if you remember, Xbox screwed up that so much.
Yeah.
The
Xbox One did have one as well. Yeah.
They lived through the they made it through the Red Ring of Death.
Yep.
They survived that. They picked HD DVD.
Yep.
PlayStation picked Blu-ray.
Yep.
PlayStation put it into their system. That should have been a death. That should have killed. You had to buy a whole separate thing to play HD DVDs on the Xbox. It wasn't native. It had a separate thing to it. That should have killed them. It didn't. They came out with a Zune.
Yep. There's the Kira cry. Yep. I'm looking at this and going, luxury controllers and in 2030, and then looking media remote, not in scope. Yeah, and mixer. So that's where we're at on that. As a side thing, Just real quick, some Bethesda games got leaked because of this that were in the process of being made, but this was before the merger, so there's no telling if these are even being made. But one of them was like Fallout 3 remastered and Dishonored 3. Again, whether any of these are actually coming out, who knows? But just it got leaked as part of it, so I wanted to mention. Wow.
Yeah.
But that's all the news I have for you tonight. Sorry for the toaster. So we'll throw it over to your corner, sir.
All right. Get over that crazy man. All right. So, as usual, we start this off with a birthday.
Okay.
And there's a show I watched, and I go back and watch it again called Space Sweepers. You ever heard of that show? It's a good show. It's kind of interesting. But Song Joong Ki, it is his birthday. He's an actor in that.
Okay.
An actor for that. It's his birthday, so I'm sure they've got a script or something to look at. You know, they need to. They're probably busy right now and can't watch this at this time. But I'm sure they'll catch up later. And when they do, you know, tell them happy birthday.
For sure.
Right? Do that. So, all right. I do have a story for you.
Okay.
Constantly releasing. Yeah. That way too many releases for Skyrim. Which, if they're taking their time on Skyrim, the big whole update to 4K and all that would have been a big deal.
Yeah, it would have.
Instead, it's one of the smaller editions. Okay. So, there is a military base in Alaska.
Okay.
It's a joint base. Elmendorf Richardson base. It's a joint base, Elmendorf Richardson in Alaska. There was a raid at the base, and it's kind of strange. There was a driver had a very, very important job. He delivered Krispy Kreme, which, you know, are they crispy? Yeah, right. No. But he was doing obviously his very important job on this base that helps keep the American military machine running.
Right.
Delivering Krispy Kremes. And he pulled up to a store. He usually leaves his doors open when he goes in, and so he can take things and go out. This time, upon leaving the door open, 2 bears got in and pigged out on the Krispy Kreme. They really seemed to enjoy the donut holes, but they did to go through quite a few of the different pastries that was available to that. To be exact, it was a mama bear and her cub.
Okay.
Yeah, so nobody wanted to go in the trailer.
Right.
They weren't doing it. So as they were in there eating, the driver, she said that she could hear them inside breaking open packages, eating, going away, and she was beating on the side of the van, which apparently is something that bears do not care about. Didn't bother the bear. And they tried this for like 20 minutes, trying to get the bears out through scaring them. They finally had to get the base security from the Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
Yes, they ate too much Krispy Kreme. They both had there was a slightly less reaction, not much less, but a little bit less reaction on the body than Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
So they called security for the base, which I'm guessing is base security is the military police, right? MPs.
I would think so. Yeah.
Call them MPs in this, but they did. But they did say today they finally got the bears out by turning on sirens outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, they turned on some sirens, which made the bears get up and just kind of, they come out and they, the way it is, I kind of think that they were just ready to leave. They were done with the pastry. So they got out and just kind of walked over the woods and left.
Nice.
Donut pastry stuff all over their face.
Yeah.
Right? You can't have the donuts, bears, going through the military base. It's a joint military base. We could have an F-22 here, an Abrams tank. Getting these bears out. And I love okay. So the captain, they have a captain that's a spokesperson of the base, Captain Lexi Smith.
Yeah.
They do say they have had, they are aware of this situation. They've had other wildlife situations throughout the past several months.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And look, I don't know how much you know about Alaska. You can take my freedom, you can take my life, but you can't take my donuts.
So you have chosen death.
Right? But I'll pass everyone. I don't know what you know about the Alaskan wilderness.
It's cold.
But and it's not what I would call safe.
Right.
The herbivores out there will kill you. Well, but anyway, and I love these little, I like the government, like platitudes, like the way they say things to, try to say it just right. They were Russian bears. Look, we cannot talk about the espionage, okay, of the Russian bears.
These donuts are good, comrade.
We take the Krispy Kreme. Not true. So just the government statement, I want to put this out. It says, we urge the public to use caution to ensure that you are protecting our wildlife and yourselves. Wildlife may be our neighbor, but they should not be attracted to our human food sources. This was sent in by email, and I don't know how to take that. They should not be attracted to our human food sources. They're animals. That's food. Animals like food.
There are so many ways to read that statement. As these aren't regular animals. Animals aren't supposed to be like this.
Yeah. What do you mean? I wonder. Hold on.
Haven't they ever watched Yogi Bear?
Have they never? Yeah, I don't know. Nigga basket. Oh, I do have a picture.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll pull it up. I don't know if we'll be able to. But they look at that. Yes, that is a bear cub, but that is not a little cub. Like when I first read it, what I thought about.
Oh wow, yeah. Pull this image up.
Okay, I'll give you a second to give it up. And the base is in Anchorage, Alaska. There's only a couple of places people live in Alaska, apparently. There's Anchorage and Nome, with a few living out in Kodiak, which they have a Walmart.
Okay, well,
Kodiak has a Walmart. I have massive respect for the musical artist Pitbull, even though I like none of his songs.
that's fair. I will be right back, by the way. Please continue.
Okay. They live in a gnome. No, they don't live in a gnome. Gosh. I think that place would be a lot cooler if that was how the name was spelt. And everybody kept them in their yard, and that was like a, something you had to do to live there is put them in your yard. Going through that. But as far as I know right now, and there's some weird things because they do all kinds of things because they know about bears. They have bears around. So, at this little store, if you take out the garbage, you have to do it with a partner. You got to go out in pairs to take the garbage out.
Right.
Doubly so if it's dark. Through that, I'm kind of wondering about what other instances could have happened over there.
Yeah.
With your gunbrella. It's Little Holland. Yes. Little Holland. Yeah. No. Yeah. Like a song with Keish. Yeah. That's the one song I kind of know. That's Timber, right? That's the one you're talking about with Kesha. Which I feel bad for her.
Right.
Yeah. Not that's not because of, she worked with Pitbull. That's not why I feel bad for her, but
Right.
I'm getting off stories and everything. But I think the moral of the story is, without some kind of like arming yourself and rather heavily, the Bears get what the Bears want, and apparently this day they wanted Krispy Kreme. You're just lucky they didn't take your truck.
Yeah.
At that point, because there's nothing you could have done to it. Little Holland has tons of garden. Okay.
Redeemed Grace speaks in a Russian accent. A Russian accent is not that good.
Yeah.
Well, now that we have borne the donuts away.
Yes. 100% agree with Dark's statement there too. They can have it. That is theirs now.
That's right. We do have your assignment still to cover tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 3 games ready. Yeah, probably. The poll is up and the games are on screen.
Okay.
As usual, chat, please don't say the name of the game. 1, 2, or 3, please.
All right.
While they're doing that, do you have any plugs, good sir?
Nah, not really. Just appreciate everybody being here.
Mm-hmm.
See, Dark says stuff like that throws me off. Obviously. Is it? Is it obviously?
Maybe.
I don't know. I guess I'll try to find out.
I'm going to plug
everybody that hangs with us and throws up comments, talks to us. That's awesome, yo.
Give us 2 and some change hours of your life. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm going to plug the Tuba game on YouTube. It's not an actual game, but somebody thought it would be fun to make a soundtrack for fighting bosses that don't exist. And so it is various pictures from across the internet of people in tubas or wearing tubas like wearing tubas gear and stuff, like a tuba for a helmet, and then a song played with tubas. They have like the tuba knight and the tuba infantry and stuff like that. And
are they using tubas or are they using saxophones?
I don't know, to be honest with you, but it's pretty good. There's a vote for a different game that's not number 1. It's not going to win, but there's a vote for number 3. So, we might as well just end the poll now. It's pretty clear how this has gone. Oh, there's a vote for number 2 right as I ended the poll. But it wouldn't matter. I'm sorry. So you'll be playing Frog Detective 2, The Case of the Invisible Wizard.
Okay, I beat the first one.
Mm-hmm.
One sitting. Maybe this will be the same thing.
Time.
Silly, cute little game the first one was.
To go back to that island, I think.
Just to prove you wrong, Dark.
That's probably right. All right. Well, I will send you that code in just a second after I flip it to the next screen here.
Okay.
And we'll be back tomorrow as you play Frog Detective 2.
Yes. Yes.
Sir, we'll be back Thursday with Iceland.
Yes. Yeah, I'm working on that. I think I'm gonna have to dig a little bit deeper than that, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Actually, go off on there.
Flip the coin. Yeah, that works.
Excellent way to choose this vote,
Dartha.
So I'm curious because a coin only has 2 sides.
Right. If it lands on the side of the coin and spins, then that's number 3.
Don't encourage him, Dark.
Gartha. And then Friday we'll be doing Chapter 4 of Armored Core 6. Maybe Chapter 5 as well. We'll see. But stoked. Making our way through there. So. And then after this podcast, the Liza P video will hopefully be done and will go up. And if not, it'll be tomorrow, hopefully. But as soon as it's done processing, it'll go up. So.
Okay.
Anything else? I think we got everything. I did. Thankfully, the suit that I want is only $2 off, so I was able to convince myself I didn't need it. But with all that said, then I've been Trey.
I've been Rungren.
And we've been the Full Spectrum Podcast. Remember to always use the full remember to always enjoy. I don't need the code. It's okay. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum. The life has to offer.